is a cereal company? Why did my husband explode?
Unfrosted is now on Netflix. I'm going to review it right here. Before we get started, make sure you leave, like, subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 700 subscribers, and it's free to do so. Helps a lot. I'm going to read you guys a quick plot synopsis just so you know what the movie is about. In 1963, Kellogg's and Post sworn cereal rivals race to create a pastry that will change the face of breakfast forever. You're probably wondering, is this a true story? And is this a new biopic? It really isn't, because biopics are usually pretty much almost all real. I mean, we kind of take some leniency in those true stories in those biopics about like singers and all that in companies. And this, it's almost all not real. I mean, they did have a Pop-Tart war with these two companies, Kellogg's and Post, both fought to make this product. Basically, these two companies actually did make this product, and you know that Pop-Tarts are real and all that. They did fight to make this product, but the rest of this movie is completely ridiculous and nothing I could take seriously. It's all lunacy. Like, if you watch it, you will understand how it's just not real, and how someone clearly made this idea, and I don't know why not just make the true story like all true in this movie. It's just all ridiculous stuff that, you know, made the movie even longer for no reason. So is it a true story? No, it's like 5% real probably. Just the product is the real part of this story, and maybe some of the real people in here. But what they do in this movie, probably not real at all. But I want you guys to steer clear from this movie. I want you to promise me to steer clear from this movie, because it is atrocious. I really don't go into movies trying to hate them. But man, this trailer, when I first saw this trailer, I thought it just looked all AI generated. I thought it looked terrible. And some people in the comments of that trailer were like, oh my God, it looks so great. I cannot wait for this movie. And I'm like, I don't see the appeal of this movie. So yeah, steer clear from this movie. If you see on your Netflix, the homepage, do not click on it. Don't click on it, please. You will literally regret doing that. I swear you'll regret doing that. And this is from Jerry Seinfeld. He directed this. This is his directorial debut. Let me warn you, I'm not the biggest Jerry Seinfeld fan. I really don't like him at all. If you like him, that's cool, but I really just don't. I don't think that he's that great of a person from some videos that I've seen from him. I don't know him personally, but from, you know, what I've seen online and some videos and what people say about him, I don't think he's that great of a guy. And honestly, I don't find him that funny. I only watched like 5 episodes of Seinfeld and maybe a little bit of his comedy specials. And maybe, you know, it was good for its time, and, you know, people really liked it back then, but it's just not funny to me. I think there's so many better sitcoms to watch nowadays. So honestly, I don't find Jerry Seinfeld that funny, and I wasn't a big fan of his direction here. It just didn't do anything, didn't reinvent anything, and didn't add anything to the movie. Kind of made it worse because the movie is, you know, paced really badly, and that can kind of fall under the director's hand, but also fall under the writer's hand at the same time. I honestly felt like everything was just so silly in this movie, because it's silly because it wants to be silly at a lot of times, but I think it's too silly for itself to even handle. Like, it might be the point, but it clearly made it worse. Like, you can clearly see when movies try to make their movies silly, and the creators go for that, but it's not working here. So why go for that point? I felt like each joke kind of got worse and worse, and I felt like I was going crazy because, you know, as I got done with the movie, I understood that a lot of general audiences are going to go watch this movie, because a lot of families open Netflix on the weekends and are like, what can we watch as a family? What movie can we watch? What new TV show? And I feel like a lot of people are going to watch this, and I feel like a lot of people are going to enjoy this, which I'm actually baffled at, because I didn't find any of this funny. I think it's just a lot of unfunny stuff, a lot of unserious stuff. I mean, I'm kind of, you know, in the same realm as the Rotten Tomato score. I think it's at like a 40% right now. The audience score also isn't great. I mean, it's not getting good grades, but some people will clearly like this and will clearly find it funny. And I'm baffled at that, because I just found it just so unwatchable at so many points in here. And it's quite unsettling, and you're probably like, that's a weird word to say for like a Pop-Tart movie and kind of a biopic, but it unsettled me a lot. I mean, the look of this movie was interesting. That's the word I'll use. It's very interesting. And, you know, maybe the sets are real in here. I mean, they built the sets. They probably had some costumes in here. They all look pretty good, but it's just, it just all felt AI generated at some point, and it all felt fake. It kind of reminded me of like that Cat in the Hat live action movie. because it just kind of, it was just so much for me, my brain to take in at once, my eyes to take in. I was like, it's so overstimulating at all points in this movie. And I know all these sets are probably real, the costumes are probably so interesting to be made and all that, but it was just way too much. It's way too much for my eyes to take in. This is like for a toddler could be the only person that could take in all this stuff. Like it's so overstimulating at some point I just had to just look away. And I really want to know, was this cast held at gunpoint or how much were they paid? Because there's so many A-list stars in here. It's absolutely baffling that anyone would choose to be in this, even if their friend Jerry Seinfeld made the movie. It's a lot of people. We're gonna go over them all, but I'm not really gonna talk about them all. You had Hugh Grant, Melissa McCarthy, Jim Gaffigan, Bill Burr, Maria Bakalova, Amy Schumer, who I absolutely despise. I find her so unfunny. James Marsden, Dan Levy, and then you had John Hamm, and then so many other people. I don't even want to name them all. Peter Dinklage also. It's like, how are there this many A-list stars in this Netflix film? And then you have these stars coming out and criticizing streaming movies. You even have Jerry Seinfeld kind of criticizing what movies are nowadays, and he's like, "Well, movies are all bad." I mean, you just made a terrible movie, my guy. And you have all these different stars criticizing streaming movies, saying streaming is killing the movie theaters. But you all just starred in maybe the worst streaming movie of the year so far. It's just absolutely ridiculous and absolutely just hypocrisy. I just don't know why all these people decide to star in these movies after, taking a shit on streaming. I mean, I'm not really the biggest fan of streaming movies. I think it is kind of killing theatrical. And why even star in this movie then? Like, who cares how much you're getting paid? Who cares if your friend Jerry Seinfeld's making it? Just decline. Just decline. I mean, a lot of these people aren't up and coming actors, which is great. A lot of these people are kind of out actors that are going out. Let's just say that. So that's actually pretty good. But I never really was impressed by a single performance here. I thought it was just, as I said, way too silly, way too unserious, and way too unfunny. If you find it funny, maybe that's your kind of humor. But this cast, I find it just so stupid how they all took these roles. Let's talk about the pace for a moment, because I honestly thought that that was going to be the best part about the movie, was the pace, seeing that was only an hour and a half. But I can't lie, I wanted to gouge my eyes out 30 minutes into this movie, and I still went and finished it because I wanted to do a honest review. I don't walk out of movies, and I don't stop movies in the middle and just quit, because I don't think that would be an honest review, an honest take about the movie. I try to finish every new movie that I watch, but I finish it somehow, some way. Kind of think I was hallucinating like halfway through though, because I kind of forgot what the ending of the movie was. Of course, the ending was the making of the Pop Tart. Pop Tart is invented and all that, but I swear I was hallucinating at some point. Someone just had to, like, take me out of this trance for a second, because I had to take a walk. Let's just say that halfway through this movie I had to take a walk. I was like, am I in a real world? Is this a real world that I'm in? Is this a real movie that I'm in? Is this a real movie that I'm watching? I had to really contemplate, thinking if this was real, and suddenly I found out that it was a real movie, and I honestly couldn't get over it. It somehow was real. I really am interested to see what the budget was on this, because I'm so interested to see how much all these actors got paid, because it's probably a lot of money. And if this movie is like getting to the top of the global charts of Netflix, and if it gets like the worldwide chart, the chart that they had, like Red Notice is the most streamed movie of all time. If it gets to that, I will literally smash something, because this is ridiculous. It's so poorly paced, and it's just so poorly made. I just couldn't take it anymore. So overall, Unfrosted, I really enjoyed giving this movie a terrible review, because I just wanted to let you guys know to steer clear. Just, if you're searching through Netflix, you see it, just click the back button a couple times, click the, arrow button, just get rid of it. Don't even look at it. Steer clear from this movie, because Unfrosted is terrible. It's probably the second worst movie of the year. And Jerry Seinfeld, I just hate him even more after this, making another terrible thing that I just don't like. It's so unserious, so unfunny, and just something that just feels so AI generated. I just couldn't take anymore. I wanted to gouge my eyes out. So Unfrosted, it's getting a great 2 out of 10. Good for them. They didn't get a 1 out of 10, but a 2 out of 10 is not much better. So yeah, don't watch Unfrosted. So just don't watch it. But as I said, it's the second worst movie of the year. What's the worst movie of the year? That Megamind movie for on Peacock. But two of the worst movies of the year are streaming movies. So we all know why streaming isn't better than theaters. But yeah, that's my review of Unfrosted. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys laughed today. If you did, leave a like, subscribe to the channel. As I said, it's free to do so. Helps a lot. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.